Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I'll bring to you a DbD PTB review. The PTB's been out for a little bit. Everybody was having fun with Chucky and not having fun against Trickster. And I didn't go over the patch notes themselves, nor did I make a dedicated Chucky video. And there's some things that I still wanted to talk about with Trickster, so I figured I'd put all of that here so we can talk about everything. So, here's the main one that a lot of people have been excited about: Chucky, the good guy. His power, for those of you that completely don't know what it does, basically, you are Chucky and you are a third person, which, I guess if they're going to label it as part of power, I mean, in some situations, I guess you can count it. I've seen some people do some real weird check spotting with it, so I guess that is a power in itself. You're shorter, so it makes you a little bit stealthy. However, you leave fading footprints to kind of give survivors a chance to know what you're doing. Except when you do hidey hole mode, which makes you undetectable, and you have distraction footprints and audio is spawned across the map. Slice and dice is like a charge attack. Everybody's been calling it like Oni, I guess. Um, I Yeah, I guess I would have put it more like Wesker in a way, but hey, what do I know? Yeah, you get to charge forward, sprint forward at high speed, and then trigger attack at the end, or whenever the special attack button is released. You can also scamper, which is adorable, right? Near a vault or pallet, press the interaction button to scamper through it quickly without breaking it. Um, Apparently this is the one that people are the most scared of. I I don't I don't know. If I'm being honest, I've seen some clips. Yeah, the it could take longer to make that animation happen. I guess in the current state it is better than Legion vaulting over and you get to just hit for a health state, or rather put them down is a potential. So I can see it. I'm not going to fight that too much, but I don't know. I think there's been a lot of doom and gloom about things lately. So just my take on Scamper, it's neat. Um, and I can understand it getting hit. I'm not going to say it doesn't need it, but I can understand if it does and doesn't. I don't think it's going to be the end all be all. For the perks, though, they've also been interesting. With Hex 2, you can play, or 2 can play, excuse me, anytime you are stunned or blinded by a survivor 2 times at max. If there is no Hex totem, put one up. And when the Hex is up, survivors who stun or blind you get blinded for 1.5 seconds. I gotta admit, I didn't think they'd do it. I think a lot of us thought that it was blindness for a little bit, but when I saw the duration, I knew that couldn't be the case unless it was a mad typo. But this is funny. How effective is it? I don't know. I think I'll bring it in a build or two just for the fun of it. Uh, I don't really want to be stunned or blind too often. More likely than not. But if you know that I've kind of just adopted running through pallets because people do not expect it lately, maybe. I don't know. I don't know who I'll run it on. I truly, with Chucky's perks, have been really struggling to think about who they best work on, really. Except for this next one. Friends to the end, when you hook a survivor that is not the obsession becomes exposed for 20 seconds and reveals their aura for 10 seconds. When you hook the obsession, another random survivor screams and reveals their position and becomes the obsession. I like this perk. 20 seconds is kind of low for you to do anything. And you go, but use it on Nurse. Nurse attacks are special attacks. I guess you could be Zeno and go through a tunnel in 20 seconds. I don't know. I do think it is just straight up better tracking perk than like Alien Instinct. There's less requirements than that. It's weird that they kind of just immediately power crept that perk. But I mean, they accomplish different things, so maybe not too much of a power creep. I don't know. Um, People are saying that this could be meta. I really don't know how you're going to get too much value on it. Now, I'm not going to say that it's impossible, but consistent value, That if you're going to tell me you're getting consistent value out of this compared to when I run Starstruck on certain people, I don't know, Chief. Now, if you pair it with Make Your Choice, I think you can have a lot of fun in the lobby, and then we can go from there. Then we have batteries included. When within 12 meters of a completed gen, you have 5% haste. The movement speed bonus lingers for 5 seconds at max when you are no longer in range. 12 meters, I'm not going to say this needs to be buffed or nerfed. And around a completed gen, if you're chasing around a completed gen, you probably don't want to be there. So I'm not seeing this being as much of a problem that people have said, because you don't really want to be chasing by completed gens for too long. So if this is getting you out of that habit, I guess. And then if you just get to a gen as it pops, you get the hit faster, and then I don't know. I think it's of course situational and can lead to some funny things. How effective? TBD. For Trickster, I've talked about all of this in a separate video. The video right before this, if I've done everything correctly. You can go look at the extended version from a Trickster main point of view of how I feel about this. TLDR, main event is the main thing that needs to be changed with how everything else is. Everything else feels okay, but that sounds like I'm saying that he's not insane right now. You have to go watch the other video if you really want to understand what I mean by this is the main worry. However, for the add-ons, and one of them isn't in here, or two rather. I recorded an entire video to talk about the add-ons, and then I figured that was just doing too much. I could just put it here. The add-ons, everybody is scared of Fizz Soda being combined with Autograph, as well as Iridescent Photo Card and Death Throes compilation. Uh, you don't need to be. Real, real quickly, and again, you should watch the other video to tie in some more thoughts, but it doesn't matter if you're getting main event in 3 compared to 6. It is the difference of 3 knives that steal less than one of the health states or one of the laceration meter fillings, whatever. The difference of 3 knives when you have 44 in total doesn't matter. This is kind of useless. You're just wasting slots for no real good reason. I don't know why everybody's acting like, yeah, and then if I make it so that you get it in 4 instead of 6, and then put it with photo card, or instead put it with death throws, you can always have knives and never need to reload. It's just like you don't need. You just hit 2 more knives. You can hit 2 more knives. I believe in you. So yeah, this isn't what people think it is. In my other video I basically just say main event shouldn't be at 6, and then this gets solved. If I'm being honest with you, you shouldn't probably get main event in less than 1 health state. As for the photo card, I've seen some clips and I've seen some conversation. But what if you just hit them 7 times and then just become 122 for the rest of the chase? Why would I pick Trickster if I want it to be an M1 baddie that's moving slightly faster? Why would I do that? 7, less than 8, means that I didn't at least get the health state. And I want to play loops like I'm an M1 baddie for what reason? I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me why everybody's fretting over this. I shouldn't say everybody. I've just seen the vocal minorities. I don't know why vocal minorities of this add-on. I don't know why this is in the conversation. For death throws, let me tell you real quick why that's not what you need to be worried about. It's the same reason the buff to reloading 1 second faster makes no difference. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, if the reload is 1 second faster, that means in a match to get 1 minute, like to have a difference of 1 minute being faster, I reloaded 60 times in a match, right? Now, going from, let's say, if I reloaded 5 times in one match at old one, that's currently 20 seconds, and at new, it's 15 seconds. I saved 5 seconds overall in the entire match. That doesn't do much for me if I still have to travel to get to the lockers to do that. So we understand that is why I'm still probably going to run. Well, up until this, I would still be running Iron Maiden and Melodious Murder. Like we follow that logic? Like it's not going to eliminate me using those two. It makes it slightly better, but it doesn't help me not have to run those to increase my down or decrease my downtime. Now, as for the Death Throws compilation, which if you get main event, you refresh your knives. Yeah, with the current main event, I'm not running out of knives often. If I'm being honest, I'm not running out of knives. If you know what you're doing with Trickster, you finally feel like Huntress, where, oh, I have leftover knives. I can get a down now. That's been my biggest thing with this entire main event, and how I do like the change being decreased from friggin' 30, but maybe not 6. Because having main event means you don't need to reload after every single chase. What happens is that you put somebody down, maybe proc main event by this time because you finally got 30 knives in the people, and it's still main event. Either it runs out before you find somebody, or you're using it on these maps that aren't very friendly for main event. It's very hard to actually get consistent value out of main event in the games as it is on the live version. In the PTB version, you're getting it constantly, so you can press that instead of still needing to throw your knives and running out of ammo. So, if I barely have to reload, putting on an Eerie so that I never have to reload doesn't make much of a difference. That's why you won't be seeing people that play Trickster run with these Eerie's in this current state. It won't make much of a difference. But Monster, there's this one guy that does death throws already right now. He's just mad accurate. Yes, because it takes 30 to get there. And the current live version, you need to keep refreshing your knives at lockers all the time. So now in the live version, yes, death throws is nice because holy crap, I don't like having to reload 10 times, 5, 6 times in a match every time I get it down just to play the game. But in the PTB version, with the current main event or with the PTB main event, I don't care, right? I already have main event for the next one. If it takes me 6 or 3 knives, that's the difference of 3 knives. As long as I have, let's say, 10 knives, and I hit 6 of them, I then have main event. And that's at least a health state, and then being 115, I can probably get the down from there if I did run out of knives because I never reloaded back up to 44, right? So, death throws is not the thing you need to be worried about. With this main event, the add-on that I am going to spoil that you should be worried about, Trick Blades. Yeah, Yeah, remember the Bouncy Blades add-on? That's kind of a meme that not everybody runs, but it is funny every now and again. Yeah, if you're getting main event constantly, and main event is main event, as in it being straight line. But if you're getting main event constantly and the knives bounce off of things, especially if you add shatter on top of that, yeah, double purple with the current version, or the excuse me, the PTB version of Trickster right now, that will be a lot. That's what you should be concerned about. Not these stupid eerie add-ons not making main event go from 6 to 3. Let's let's critically think here. I've seen some people with larger followings talk about that, and I don't understand why they think that's the problem. I understand it can feel bad in the moment, but the difference of 6 to 3 is non existent when you have 44, and that doesn't mean behavior to nerf 44, because then you just go back to having the same issue as to why it feels like I'm always reloading. Um, Moving on, Made for This got hit. Finally, now it only works while you are in deep wound, but you can't get rid of it with exhaustion anymore. People are like, oh, Rip, Slinger, and Legion, they've already been dealing with it right now because that was still injured. So, I mean, it's not like they got hit again with it. It just, I mean, it's going to affect them more versus not. So, yeah. And hey, I still think that what I proposed a while ago, that a better change to Made for This would be to operate like Lucky Break, where you have to, heal, do a gen or whatever to get it back up, and then you can use it for X amount of time, and so on and so forth. I still like that better versus kind of just making it weird, and then we'll go back to all the sprint burst and balanced landings and yada yada all over again. So I hope they reconsider once more. The map updates didn't really see too much differences on them, if I'm being honest with you. So I'm not going to say too much about them. So they exist. We'll see them better on live. And then the last thing, player cards aren't in there, but the slots for them are. It's hard to judge something that's empty right now, but I do think it looks oddly placed and kind of just cluttering things up at a certain point. I'd appreciate if they put the badges in place of where Prestige was, so everybody stops worrying about that one way or another. So, yeah, I'd like that to be where that goes. And yeah, the rest is bug fixes. Not gonna. Oh, actually, I will talk about one bug fix that, or I guess two of them together. Um, Chain Hunt is no longer reset when survivors are interrupted during certain actions, and you cannot target a survivor with more change once they have started solving the lament configuration. I admittedly haven't been playing Senno nearly as much with the introduction of MFT, so I haven't even thought to actually test this one myself. So I'm not going to say yay or nay right now. To me, my knee jerk reaction is what the heck. But yeah. Oh, and unfortunately, Freddy got nerfed. You're no longer able to put the dream snares through things, which was a good thing going for him. So weird that they're nerfing him back to being just awful. But according to this stats, the devs say that he's a pub stomper. So yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna leave that there. And feel free to tell me what you think about the PTB and all of its glory. So, if you liked the video, like it. Got a comment for me, comment. And until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.